Good morning. We're going to talk today about the AOTA conference. This is Kaitlin Ploeger. I'm your AOTA liaison. The conference is coming April 7th through the 10th, and it's going to be in Chicago, Illinois at McCormick Place. It's going to be a great time. It should be not too cold, but still a little bit. Here are some price breakdowns that we're looking at from their AOTA site. We have basically what you'll be looking at is the student AOTA membership 3-day and the student AOTA membership Thursday, Friday, or Saturday. So this price is based on this Thursday, Friday, or Saturday is based on if you go one day and you buy ahead of time or after. It's the same price, that $176. If you want to go all 3 days, that is $299 for an early bird discount, which is available until March 10th. After that, it is $412 for the full regular price for all 3 days. So obviously, you want to try and get that early bird discount, which is available again until March 10th. If you have somebody coming with you who is non-member, and that's again non-AOTA member, here are the prices listed here. It looks like I added a 4 on this slideshow, so it's actually $437 and then $492 after. Again, you could pick one day, and those prices are listed here. The Saturday prices are a little bit less expensive, listed over here to the right. However, most people will not be there Sunday because they'll be heading back to campus. There are a couple ways to help you out with these prices. You can be a volunteer. In order to be a volunteer, you'll have to complete a request application on the AOTA website. That link is available down at the bottom. You cannot do this until December 8th. Typically, these positions fill up pretty quickly, so if you are wanting to volunteer, you will want to fill that out as soon as you can after December 8th. This is a great way to check out the conference without paying the conference fees. Again, what happens is you will either be a room monitor or information, registration area, or working in the marketplace. And doing this will allow you to get into the expo and the conference without paying the fee. This is just for one day, and you can only see the sessions that you volunteer at. So if you're a room monitor, you can go into that session and you're monitoring the room. However, you will be able to only see that particular session. All of them are great though, so it depends on if you have a particular interest or you're just kind of wanting to see what the conference is about. Again, these positions fill up fast, so get your applications in early. If you have any other questions about volunteering, there's more information at this site, which is on the AOTA website, and they'll tell you more about what these positions include and how that works out. There's going to also be a group promo code. And so what this is when you buy your ticket, so don't buy your AOTA conference passes yet, we are going to have a group promo code that you can fill in at checkout. This tracks how many people are registering under our group. And if we get over 50 people to sign up with our group promo code, then you'll be reimbursed 20% off. So again, what happens is you check out and pay the price. You pay the price, and then you get reimbursed after we have 50 people sign up. You'll get reimbursed to 20%, and that'll go back on your card. We'll be emailing out more information about the group promo code after we have set it up. While at conference, there's also alumni and dean's events. You'll be asked to participate in some of these social events. Again, they're optional. But you have to RSVP. So if you are RSVP'd to go to these events, you have to show up. We are planning for you or expecting you. So please show up if you have RSVP'd to go to these events. There's typically 2. There's an alumni event where you can meet Creighton alumni. They usually have appetizers, and it's a pretty fun event. And then there's also the Dean's event, which last year was a lunch. So the day, I think it was Saturday, there was a Dean's lunch, and he was there, and just like the the Creighton students were there also. And it was in a really cool place last year. So we'll have more information on this to come, but just know that you'll probably be getting an email out about them sometime next semester, and that's what they're referring to, the RSVP. Housing in Chicago. So the information on the AOTA website lists 13 hotels for $154 to $275 a night. This includes singles, doubles, queens, and quads. And I'd never heard of a quad before, but apparently you can have 4 beds in one room. The AOTA website has hotels that are letting you know that they are specifically hosting AOTA conference attendees. These can be reserved between December 8th and March 11th. Again, that December 8th is when you would want to use their promo code. There's a couple things to consider when picking one of the hotels. 12 of them include shuttle service to the conference, and you would want to check if you're coming in from the airport or train station if they pick you up there or not. One is within walking distance, and let's see, also some of them, actually all of them, have parking rates for cars. So if you're driving, you'll also have to tack on that every per night fee for your car to park there. AOTA website this year has let out a warning not to be scammed by housing pirates. They have approved housing. This is not to say that you can't use, if you're a Hyatt member and you want to use your Hyatt points, you can stay with them, but just be sure and extra careful that you're not being scammed by anybody, because we want everyone to have a good time and no one to be scammed or anything like that. So they have more information on their website, which I have listed down here below, and this is their official statement down here. They ask you for a full non-refundable payment at the time of reservation, so that's how you would kind of know that something might be up. I've also been asked if you know somebody in Chicago, can you stay at their house? Absolutely. Just because we are hoping to go to conference and helping you organize how to get there does not mean that we in any way are going to be in charge of your agenda while you're there. So you can go visit whoever you want, you can come when you want, you can stay with who you want. That is totally up to you. We are just making information available for those of you who need more information on the Chicago area. Travel. So there's 3 ways: planes, trains, and automobiles. We have flights. They run from $220 to $400 round trip, what I've found so far. Again, if you have mileage points or anything, you can obviously use those. It's about an hour and a half, but you will have to pay from a taxi from the airport to the hotel. Again, you could check with your hotel to see if they provide shuttle service back and forth. You can also drive. It's a 7-hour drive, and carpooling is a great way to get to know your friends a little bit better and have a great time on your trip to Chicago. And what we did last year, my friends and I, on our way to Nashville, is we caravanned. So we had a couple cars going all together, and it was a really fun experience. That was about a 14-hour drive, so 7 hours doesn't seem too bad. And again, the weather shouldn't be too horrible, so should be fine. Things to consider if you're driving are parking fee per day at each hotel. Sometimes it's as low as $25 a day, but it totally depends. So make sure you inquire if you're planning on driving. Another way to get there is the Amtrak, and that is a 9-hour and 30-minute train ride. But I have found some pricing for $58 each way. So that would be $110 basically for a round trip, or $400 round trip. I've never been on the Amtrak, but you can either have a seat like what you would have on a plane, or you can get your own room and sleep with bunks, or you can have all sorts of different seats. There's tons of options. Again, the pricing for that is like $110 to $400 round trip. It is a bit longer than driving, but it might be a fun experience. Again, when you're thinking of the Amtrak, you will have to consider a taxi ride to the hotel, and you won't have transportation while you're there. So a note on travel and hotel arrangements. Again, we are offering information and assistance with figuring out the details. However, we do not form travel groups. It is up to cohorts and individuals to form groups and make decisions on a hotel and transportation for the best interest of that particular group. So this information is for you to take and use with your friends or your cohorts to organize a trip. What we did last year is once we knew quite a few people wanted to go, there were about 12 of us. Again, I'm in Go, so we have a smaller group, but we were able to then have a meeting and kind of discuss what everyone was thinking, and that was useful to us. I understand with a bigger campus cohort, it might be more difficult, so I encourage presidents to see, if anyone's interested, and just kind of help people organize, because last year I know that some people in the class above us were left to find their own groups and weren't exactly sure how to do that, and they reached out to QSOTA, and unfortunately we just do not help organize groups. We can tell you if we know somebody's going, but just feel free to be open with your classmates and see if they're forming a group. If so, what are they thinking? Forming a group of 7 to 12 was good for us because it was 2 cars, 3 cars actually, and we were able, if one person didn't want to stay at a particular hotel, we could stay at different hotels at different price points, but still be in contact while we were there and what we were doing. Again, it's your group in particular. You can stay at, the Ritz, wherever you want to stay, or you can, bunk with somebody's family member. It is totally up to your group. Fundraising. So concession dates I have are finished, but I just emailed out that there are 2 additional dates that we have for this semester. We have made quite a bit of money so far with concessions, and it'd be great to have people work those 2 additional dates so that we can continue to make money towards going to conference. We'll also have 2 future fundraisers. We have a garage sale coming in the spring, and that is where you can either donate your items to be sold, or you can sell your own items, or have family members donate items, and whatever we make from that goes into a pot, again, also to be split between us for going to conference. We also have a silent auction in the spring, and that is, again, where people donate items, and we split the funds that we make. The Dean's reimbursement, again, I know we've talked about in our meetings that the Dean's reimbursement is kind of unclear right now. We still have a Dean's reimbursement, but how much we're getting is unclear. In order to be eligible for this, and again, this is separate from concessions and fundraising, those go into a separate cash pot for you, and they don't have the same rules. The Dean's reimbursement, you have to have attended 75% of QSOTA meetings throughout the year. Also, you have to have volunteered 3 hours at a QSOTA service event and attend 1 QSOTA social event. Again, these are QSOTA sponsored events. They are not with any other organization. So if you have done that, be sure that you sign in and you sign out so that we can track your hours. Another way is to have volunteered 6 hours at a QSOTA service event. I know we have signups available. They might be full, but we will have more opportunities in the spring. So you do want to be eligible for the Dean's reimbursement by going to meetings and making sure you're signing in if you're watching them online. The Dean's reimbursement comes after conference. So if you have, it'll come maybe in May, I think is when we sent them out this year. And that's after you've paid for conference. It'll come as in a check to you. And how that works is we have you fill out an envelope with your name on it and a stamp and your address. And you'll give that to us at conference. That way we know you were there. And then at the end of the semester, we'll take the total Dean's reimbursement. We'll split it between those that are eligible for it and write checks, even amounts of checks to you. Put it in your envelope and send it on its way back to you. Then it's yours to do with what you want. There's a cap right now on how much we can receive from the Dean's reimbursement. Due to the huge interest in going to conference JP, the CUSOTA president, is discussing this with the OSA office. We'll get back to you with more information, but again, it was a huge help for those last year that were eligible for it. Unfortunately, some people were not eligible for it. It's pretty easy to follow these rules and do your volunteer hours and go to the social event and go to the meetings. So just be sure that you are eligible if you're thinking of going to conference, because no matter how much it is, everything helps when you're considering going. All right, Chicago attractions. There is a lot going on in Chicago. Besides being a beautiful city, it has a lot to offer. There is a lot of good food, I've heard. There is the Art Institute of Chicago, Millennium Park. There's museums, Wrigley Field. There is an amazing shopping, food tours, observation decks, boat tours, the Chicago Symphony, walking tours. If you're not interested in doing those formal attractions, it's just a great place to walk around. Navy Pier is close to where we'll be, and it's just going to be a fun time with good Creighton students. There is more information on TripAdvisor about like formal attractions, but a lot of your classmates, or not a lot, but I know several people from Chicago, and you can always ask them what is there to do. You can always look at Groupon and Living Social for more ideas. Groupon and Living Social have great deals on hotels. They have food, events that you can participate in, concerts, that kind of thing. So look into those before you go. That's all I have right now as far as information on CUSOTA, what CUSOTA is offering for information on the AOTA conference. You can, again, look at the prices again, talk to people who have gone. It was a great experience. There is going to be a link in this email that I send out, and you can feel free to write questions on that Google Doc. Again, just look and make sure that you're not duplicating somebody's question, and I'll get back to you on those questions later next week, and probably Monday. By Monday, I'll have answered those questions, okay? And have a great day. Thanks.